Hi, and welcome once again to Stone Soup.
The world according to Sci-Fi Geeks.
And today we're going to talk about, a mystery series. A while back, my husband went on a journey through Amazon.com looking for a new mystery thing because we just do that from time to time, and he found this, the Miss Fisher Mysteries. It's an Australian series set in Melbourne in 1928, and the main character is Miss Phryne Fisher.
Yes.
They call them the Miss Fisher Mysteries because they didn't think anybody would be able to pronounce Phryne.
Yep.
And
it does take a bit to get used to.
it is a cracking good series. We loved it to pieces. We like it so much that I said, oh, get the books.
Because the series was based on books.
Yes, we do all that. And my husband got the first 3 books for us. And I gobbled down the first 2 and about half of the third one and said to him, I'm going to need the rest of them. So he did. They showed up in a big old box, all higgledy-piggledy. And I was like, they aren't even numbered. So I left them on the coffee table with this plan. My plan was twofold. I would get in there and sort them out shortly, or, and this is what happened, my son would find them, and my son is OCD. So he said,
bit.
little bit OCD. So I come in, and there he is, going through them, checking the list in the front of the book, and sorting them out.
He was reading the backs and, looking at going, okay, this goes here, this goes here, this goes here.
It's great. Anyway, like I said, they're set in Melbourne. They're filmed in Australia.
Yep.
It's an Australian series written by an Australian author. The books are written by an Australian author. They're set in Melbourne in 1928. The author's name is Kerry
Greenwood.
Says so right there on the book, Kerry Greenwood.
Yep.
And by the way, she approves of the TV series. Now, any given book has 2 mysteries usually running side by side. In the series, they blend them. They
connect them up.
They connect them up. They're not necessarily the same mystery, but they are blended.
Yes. Now, each episode is about an hour long if it had commercials. So they have to tweak things to make them fit, and that's one of the things they did.
Yeah.
Now, pretty much all the episodes are based on the books.
Yeah. Now, you'll notice these are not big books.
No.
They're a fast read. They're a fun read. I mean, when I started reading them, it was like, oh yes, this is, I read on my exercycle, and I can't put them down. I mean, I look up at the timer and the mileage and say, oh, I'm done.
Yep.
My goodness, I was done 2 minutes and a mile ago. Dang, cool. And my thighs are getting nice and skinny. I just love Phryne Fisher on so many levels. But anyway.
So, the series itself is, of course, about Miss Fisher. Now, Phryne is recently returning to Australia after having lived in London for a few years. Her family recently came into wealth and a title, thanks largely to World War I.
Basically, they came into the wealth because they came into the title. They were basically dirt poor right up to that point.
When 3 members of the family died, leaving her father the only heir.
And suddenly her dad was the Earl of Watts, and they had wealth. So she has the attitudes of someone who was not raised with wealth.
Yep.
And the money of someone who was. And without quite intending to, she built herself a team.
Yes. As most wealthy ladies, she
in
hires a maid.
Well, in her first mystery, she meets a young lady who was a lady's maid named Dot, who has just been dismissed.
Yes.
For one reason in the book and a slightly different reason in the series. And she hires her.
Yes.
Because she needs a maid and because she's got nobody but herself. And Dot needs a position, and Dot will not be able to find a position because of the way she was dismissed.
Yes.
And it was completely unfair.
Yes.
So she hires Dot.
In both.
In both. And Dot is wonderful. I don't remember the name of the actress. The actress who plays Phryne Fisher, by the way, is Essie Davis. And she is very, very reminiscent of Diana Rigg at that age. Matter of fact, at first I thought it was her until I realized that the series wasn't old enough. But I don't remember the name of the gal who plays Dot, but she's terrific. And in the process, they also meet and befriend a couple of cab drivers
named Cess and Bert.
Yeah, Cecil, C-E-C-I-L, Cess and Bert.
Actually Albert, but he goes by Bert.
Yeah, And they're both ex-soldiers, served at Gallipoli.
She kind of sweeps them up in her wake.
Yeah, she tends to sweep people up in her wake. And
she has some
eventually,
somewhat reluctant help from the police
I think
force.
it's the second or third book. She finally, when she first gets back to Australia, she's living in a hotel. But after the second book, I think it is, she just has to buy a house because it's getting too expensive to stay in the hotel. It's stupid to pay those kinds of prices. So she moves into a house and she has to hire a butler.
Because that's just what one does.
And amusingly, her butler's name is Mr. Butler.
Seriously.
You know, like Rhett Butler? Butler's a name.
Yep.
Anyway.
Oh, and he's a find.
Oh, he is a find and a half. He also is a soldier. A lot of men of a certain age in Australia in 1928
Have been soldiers.
had been soldiers, had gotten through World War I. And so here he is thinking, you know, he's not as young as he used to be. He'll be serving a nice spinster, nice, quiet,
You know, noble woman.
And
Who packs.
yeah, who packs heat and occasionally gets shot at, but he doesn't know that yet.
Everyone needs a hobby.
And the interesting thing is when he finds it out, he doesn't run off.
No.
He's like, oh, that's fine, whatever. Yeah,
I'll go put on some tea.
yeah, exactly. I'll go get a pot of, I'll go make a pot of tea, and you need a drink. You know, he is right there. One of the talents of being a really good butler is paying very close attention to what everybody is doing and everybody needs, and he does it extremely well. And if that includes having to wrestle some badass to the ground, fine, he'll do that too. And then he'll serve the tea. And would you like biscuits with that? You know? Sandwiches?
Now, in the books, he has a wife. In the TV series, he's a widow.
He's a widower. Yeah.
That's a shame.
Yeah, because the wife was a really good cook, but they just, you know, blended the butlers so that he's a really good cook and a really great butler, and he's wonderful to have around.
Yes. Now, she has some reluctant help from the police force. You know how it is with the period pieces and female detectives. They're like...
detectives in general, no matter what the period, and the cops don't really like private detectives getting in their way. Get out of my, you know...
Yes, but especially, you know, lady detective back then, it's even worse.
Yeah.
And at least Poirot had the respect of the police force.
Well, he used to be a cop.
True.
So he had that going for him, plus he was a guy.
Yeah, I will say that these are very reminiscent of Agatha Christie to me.
Yeah, very, in a lot of ways. And then eventually, there is a case, and I forget exactly where it is, one of the first three, I think. She picks up a 12 or 13-year-old girl that she winds up adopting.
Yes.
Now, in the books, she adopts two best friends.
Yes.
In the TV series, there's just the one. But that's interesting, too. She didn't want to be a mom, but she scoops this kid up, and to keep her out of the...
no virgin.
Yeah, to keep her out of, keep the kid out of Child Protective Services, as it were, she takes her home, and after she's had it for a couple days, you know, the little girl wants to know, am I going to go to so-and-so? And she's like, no, you're going to stay here. I couldn't possibly send you away now.
No.
But...
the two primary cops that she deals with are Chief Inspector Robinson and Constable Wiggins?
Collins.
Collins. Oh, bad of me.
Hugh Collins. Hugh has a big crush on Dot, which works out quite well.
It's cute. Except for the whole she's Catholic, he's Protestant thing.
Except in the books, he's Catholic.
Really?
Yes, you haven't gotten to him yet, have you?
No, no.
Yeah,
I've only finished the first book. I don't spend as much time on the bike as she does.
Yeah, he doesn't show up until the fourth book.
Which is interesting because he shows up in the first episode.
Yeah. Well, they wanted to get all the characters in, I think, as soon as possible. Oh, also in the books, he doesn't work with Robinson.
Oh, no?
Maybe he will eventually, but not now.
Spoilers.
Yeah, spoilers. Sorry. Bad. Anyway, what did you just say?
She's not a virgin.
Oh, yes, she's very...
It's the 1920s.
It's the 1920s. The war had sort of traumatized people a lot, and a lot of the mores changed.
Yes.
The flappers, she's kind of a flapper. She dresses like
Yeah.
a flapper. She's a wonderful dresser. I want... Where's that dress? That. I want this dress. I think it's gorgeous.
Oh, yes.
I want this dress. But anyway, this is the book I'm reading now. Oh my God, I'm on book 5. But anyway, she's sexually pretty loose with her favors.
Yes.
She has.
She goes through men like some people go through M&Ms.
She She puts Captain Kirk to shame.
Yeah, she puts Captain Kirk to shame. Yes, she takes a different lover in each book.
Yep. And pretty much each episode.
And each episode, but well, you know, they're not long-term, they're flings. She likes sex, and she likes sex with guys, and he's a real nice guy, and he's pretty, and
he will do.
And yeah, and he's a guy, and he's got all the right equipment. Would you like to come into my bedroom? Yes. Okay, good. Because that's the way it is with men. You pretty much only have to say, you want to? Anyway, the other thing about the series, slight detour here, we have watched other series that were filmed in Australia or New Zealand.
Yep.
Farscape, Xena, Hercules. And we did recognize one actor. Well, actually, we didn't quite recognize her. She looked kind of sort of familiar. My husband went and looked her up to figure out who she was. There is a character, a recurring character in the books and in the series called Dr. Macmillan, female doctor.
Yes.
She works in, I think, an all-woman hospital.
Yes,
actually.
a woman's hospital, but she dresses in trousers. She has fought her way through all the limits of that time to become a fully fledged doctor, which was very hard for a woman to do.
Yeah.
Whoopsie.
Now, Phryne, stand up, be brave, be proud. Phryne. Anyway, and it turned out that she is played by Tammy McIntosh, who played Jewel in Farscape. And
You may remember her from the last couple of seasons. The bright red hair. I think she's
bright red, long curly hair. Go watch that part of Farscape, then go watch this, and you'll say, huh? Because
makeup. It's an amazing thing.
Well, for one thing, she's not wearing red hair. She's human, which in Farscape she wasn't human. Jewel wasn't human.
No. And she's not wearing a tight leather corset.
And she's not wearing a tight leather corset, and she's just doing an entirely different everything.
Yes.
So, but we thought that was interesting. Anyway. What?
We are geeks.
Yeah, we are geeks. We geek, and that geeked us out. Oh, cool. So I keep hoping, that Hugh Jackman will turn up, but he won't because he lives in America now. So I do know that, but darn. Anyway, they've only done the one season so far, but they have started filming a second season this February.
Yes.
So there will be a second season of the series.
Yes.
And it's worth picking up.
Yep.
All of it's worth picking up. I'm having the best time reading these books. They read very fast. And
Phryne is just fun.
yeah,
She just breezes through life with this attitude of, I'll do what I want to. Screw you very much.
Yeah, get out of my way, and I have a gun. Yeah. You can't go out. What makes you think you'll be safe out on the roads? I have a gun. Yeah. And she knows how to use it, and she will use it.
Yes. She is smart as a whip.
Yeah.
Tough as nails.
She actually solves these mysteries. The answers don't just suddenly appear. I've seen that happen in a book or two. And no, she works it out.
Yep.
And all these people that work with her admire her to death because she's so smart.
Yes. And best, just as good, is that they're all smart too. We consider it the height of lazy writing to make the detective look smart by making everyone else around them dumb.
Yeah.
There are different levels of smart people.
Yeah.
And they got it right. They're all smart. They just don't quite have what she has.
Sometimes what they don't have is insight.
Yes. Certain experience,
Certain experiences. Being female is different from being male.
Yes.
Being female and free is different from being a cop. She can find things out that they can't.
Yes. As Miss Marple once said, when the cops are asking questions, it's an investigation.
She said police.
Police.
She wouldn't say cops.
You're right.
Yes, it's the police asking questions. But when it's me asking questions, it's just an old lady asking questions.
People will tell me anything.
Well, Phryne's not an old lady, but a lot of people will tell her stuff they wouldn't tell the police.
Yes.
Especially if they don't realize they're talking to a detective.
Yeah.
But she's actually an official detective, which Miss Marple was not.
Well, no.
She hands out cards. People come to her and hire her. One of the cases in...
She doesn't need the money, but she enjoys the stimulation.
Yeah. And she does make them pay because it would be bad for everybody's character, as it were.
Yes.
And also, she does pay all the people that work for her.
Uh-huh.
She's very generous with her money.
Yes.
Not just the people who work for her, but Bert and Cess. She bought them a whole new cab because basically because their cab was falling apart, and she uses them all the time. So she said,
And they were helping her, so-
I'm going to get you a new cab. And they were like, well, okay.
Yeah, sure.
You know,
And then, they go
who would
to,
argue?
and then, they find a shiny new cab, and they're like, she really meant it. Of course, then they discovered that they've been snookered into helping her move into her new house. But what the heck? They
They're
got
not-
a new cab.
We got a new cab. Who would argue? You know? And they probably would have helped her anyway.
Yeah.
What else has she done that was really cool? Anyway, she hands out money left, right, and in between because she can.
Yep.
You know, and because, like I say, she does not have the attitudes of someone raised with wealth.
No.
She knows what it is to be starving on the street.
Yep.
So she's has a problem letting anybody else starve on the street.
Yes.
But so
But if you enjoy period mystery pieces, this is a good one.
yes, you will enjoy it enormously, all of it.
Yes.
We are.
Yes.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.